All right, video solutions, Unit 2, Roots and Radicals, homework packet 29 and 30, October 10th, 2013. All right, so let's complete each equation for the missing value. So, we know we had rules today that said when you're multiplying powers with the same base, you add the exponents, and when you're dividing powers with the same base, you subtract. So here we're multiplying when parentheses are next to each other. Both the bases are 5, so we can add the exponents. So 2 plus 5 is 7. So the question mark would equal 7. It'd be 5 to the 7th. B. Okay, you have 12 to the 7th times 12 to the 3rd. So again, you're multiplying powers with the same base of 12. So you add the exponents. 7 and 3 is 10. So it'd be 12 to the 10th power. Okay, C. 3 to the negative 2nd power times 3 to the 5th. So this is different because we have a negative exponent, but the rule still applies. We add the exponent. So negative 2 plus 5 is a positive 3. So our exponent would be 3, 3 to the 3rd power. D, 4 to the 9th times 4 to the negative 3rd. Same base of 4, so add the exponents. 9 and negative 3 is 6. So it would be 4 to the 6th power. Okay, E, 5 to the 4th times 5 to the blank equals 5 to the 12th. So in this one, we're saying to ourselves that 4 plus some exponent is going to equal 12. Well, 4 plus what equals 12? Obviously, 4 plus 8 equals 12. Okay, so that would have been 5 to the 8th power right back here. Okay, F. We have 10 to the 7th times 10 to some exponent times 10 to the negative 6, and that equals 10 to the 3rd. So what we're saying here is I have 7 plus a question mark plus a negative 6, and that has to equal 3. Well, 7 and negative 6 is 1. So now 1 plus what equals 3? Well, that would be 2. So our question mark would be 2. So if we go back here, it would be 10 to the 2nd power. G, 3 to the 4th divided by 3 squared equals 3 to the blank. So we're dividing. Our bases are the same, so we're going to subtract. And we always subtract the first minus the second. So it's 4 minus 2 equals 2. So our question mark would be 2. So this would be 3 to the 2nd power. H. This time the division is in a fraction. So we always do top minus bottom, or we can look at which exponent is larger and then make sure that in our answer that it's that particular part of the fraction where we leave our power. So in this problem, I have 5 to the 9th divided by 5 to the 6th. So I'm going to take and subtract the 9 minus the 6 and get 5 to the 3rd. Since this exponent right here is larger, my computer's going bonkers on me. Let me get rid of this. Okay. All right, there we go. So this one is larger right up here. So I'm going to have my answer in the numerator. So 5 to the 9th over 5 to the 6th means 9 minus 6 is 3. So in this case, our exponent is 3, 5 to the 3rd power. Okay, I. We have 9 to the 5th divided by 9 to the 8th. Now they're not giving us a chance to make this into a fraction like we saw in the video. So here again, we simply subtract first one minus the second one. So just like up here, 3 to the 4th divided by 3 squared, the 3 to the 4th would have been on top, 3 squared would have been on bottom. So in this one, again, 9 to the 5th and 9 to the 8th, we would go top minus the bottom. So that would be 5 minus 8. So that's going to give us a negative because we know that we do same change switch. Like that. 5 plus a negative 8 then is negative 3. So this question mark would be negative 3. Now, if we did like the video and we had a chance to put it into fraction form, we know that the lady said that we always put the answer in the numerator and denominator that has the largest exponent. So in this case, 8 is larger than 5. So then when we subtract, we would go big minus little. So it would have been 9. 8 minus 5 is 3. So that would have been down at the bottom. And then we would have had a 1 at the top. We're going to learn a little bit more about what happens when we have negative exponents. J, 12 to the 4th divided by 12 to the 6th equals 12 to the blank. Okay, well, it's set up so that we take the first power or exponent minus the second. So 4 minus 6 is going to be 4 plus a negative 6. So we know that's negative 2. You have to remember your integer operations. So our question mark is going to be negative 2. If we had set this up as a fraction, this would have been 12 to the 4th up at the top. This would have been 12 to the 6th on the bottom. And then we would have said, well, 12 to the 6th is larger, so my power is going to stay down there. And then when we subtract 6 minus 4, 2, that would have stayed there. This would have been a 1. What you're going to find out is 12 right here to the question mark negative 2 is going to be the same as 1 over 12 squared. You can find that out in a different lesson. Okay, I have 10 to the 8th divided by 10 to the question mark equals 10 to the 3rd. All right, so we know that we're going to take our exponents, take the first one minus the second one. So in this problem, I'm going to have 8 minus that question mark has to equal 3. So we know that 8 minus 5 would equal 3, so the question mark equals 5. This one right here would have been 10 to the 5th power. Okay? And I, 2 to the blank over 2 to the 3rd equals 2 to the 4th. So again, we have it set up so I'm going to take the question mark minus the 3 at the bottom, and I have to get 4. So let's change this to same change switch. So it's blank plus a negative 3 equals 4. Well, in this case, if I were to solve it like in 7th grade, I need to get the question mark by itself. So I'm going to do the opposite of negative 3. Some of you should remember this. So that's going to be a positive 3 on both sides. This is just solving an equation. That's going to cancel. And then my question mark is going to equal 7. All right, 30. Same types of work. So in this case, same base. They're multiplying, so I'm going to add 2 and 7. So my question mark is 9. Problem or letter B is just like A. So I have 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 2nd. So I'm going to add the exponents. 5 plus 2 is 7. When you practice, you get faster and better at it. Okay, C, 5 to the negative 3rd times 5 to the 5th. So negative 3 plus 5, I have more positives, and I subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. So my question mark is 2. Okay, 15 to the 8th times 15 to the negative 5th. I add 8 and a negative 5. Again, I have more positives, and then I subtract. So my question mark is 3. So all that work we did on positives and negatives, integers, should pay off. Okay, 6 to the 7th times 6 to the blank equals 15. So in this case, I have 7 plus some number has to equal 15. Well, 7 plus 8 does. So our question mark in this case would have been 8. Letter F. 11 to the negative 6 times 11 to a blank times 11 to the 8th equals 5. So in this case, I have a negative 6. I'm going to add to it a question mark. And then I'm going to add to it 8. And that all has to equal 5 in the end. Okay, so what we need to remember is that we can do the numbers first. So I have negative 6 and a positive 8. That's going to be 2. So I really have 2 plus blank equals 5. So we change it to make it a little easier. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So my question mark is 3. Okay, letter G. Now we're dividing. So in this case here, let my computer catch up. Seven to the 7th divided by 7 to the 3rd equals 7 to the blank. Well, we subtract always the first minus the second. So 7 minus 3 is 4. So my question mark is 4. Okay, this is written in fraction form, so we always do the top minus the bottom. So 10 to the 10th divided, 11 to the 10th divided by 11 to the 6th. The 10 minus the 6 is 4. I, 3 to the 7th divided by 3 to the 9th. Well, we again go first minus second. So 7 minus 9 is a negative 2 because I'm subtracting more. Okay, J. 2 to the 6th divided by 2 to the 10th equals 2 to the blank. So again, top minus bottom. So I have 6 minus 10 in case you need to write it out. Sometimes that's helpful. Do your same change switch. 6 plus a negative 10, I have more negatives, so my answer is negative, and 10 minus 6 then is 4. Okay, 13 to the 6th divided by 13 to the blank equals 13 squared. So in this case, I have my top minus my bottom, so I'm going to take 6. I'm going to subtract the question mark, and I have to get 2. Well, 6 minus what equals 2? That's an easy one. The question mark would be 4. And the last one, 5 to the blank divided by 5 to the 6th equals 5 to the 3rd. So again, first minus second. So I have a question mark. I'm going to subtract 6, and I need 3. So let's do our same change switch. So what plus a negative 6 equals 3? Again, let's just solve it. Okay, do the opposite of the number to get rid of this. Opposite of negative 6 is positive 6. I have to do that on both sides to keep the equation equal. They cancel. So I'm left with my question mark equals 9. And we'll go over this a little bit tomorrow in case you need help before the quiz. But remember, there's a practice quiz on Edmodo.